Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Discovering Unique Hobbies, the podcast. This is Zach.
This is Cody.
And tonight we're diving into the world of music with our special guest, Robert Mills. With over 500 vinyl records, give or take, in his collection, Robert's passion for his music runs deep. Let's tune in as we explore his incredible journey through the grooves of vinyl and uncover the stories behind his extensive collection.
Broncos country, that's right.
So obviously for the listeners, this is going to drop a month after the news release, but with the Steelers signing Russell Wilson for a year, that's awesome news.
I've seen the memes almost immediately. There was like Steelers country, let's weld. So there's
weld.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing. It was immediate.
He'd be the cheesy one to do that. I feel like. So other than Steelers news, man, let's talk about the hobby front.
The coins that I was trying to find. But the problem now is there were some that were like $1,200 and some that were $99, some that were 30 cents. So I have to figure out which ones I'm looking for. Hopefully it's the really cheap ones.
Oh, have you gotten any yet, or do you have anything at least in your cart yet? No,
nothing at all yet. The ones that I'm looking for are the 2000 to 2006. I didn't have the book on me when I was looking at them, so I'm going to bring that with me this weekend. I'll be down in West Virginia for something, and then I'll bring
something. It's a banjo festival.
Dance competition, not myself.
Oh yeah,
it'd be much better.
Not myself.
How awesome would that be?
Oh, I think our listeners would know by now that you're not the one dancing.
Adult dance competitions. If not,
adults dancing in West Virginia, that'd be great. A lot of banjos, man. I'm here for the banjos.
Have you touched the model truck?
I finally purchased the cement stuff for it, and I have a little kit ready to get that started. I'm gonna do a stop motion thing for it. So as it builds out, I want to show each step and then kind of calculate really, how much or how long I do it. So it's gonna be fun. Also, you brought up the hobby ranking scoring system last episode, and I kind of want to get back to that because kind of as the outro of the episode, kind of go over the numbers and then kind of give it a ranking from there, each side, and kind of go from there. I mean, I think that'd be awesome.
I'm trying to figure out the basis of it because Robert, his hobby is also music, but now he's added the possession part of it, the material side of it. Then some could say the artistic side of it too.
Right.
And there's a functional part. So the scores in other areas are going up. But I guess is it like a 5-point scale? And then that's going to be the tough part. What's the measuring of it?
So I know that it'd be kind of difficult, obviously, with the kind of how you score it. We do 5 stars versus, 6 thumbs ups. I wrote like the financial aspect, the amount of time that's put into it. I mean, that can be broke down into
convenience
too. Yeah, convenience. Is it something that you can do on the go?
So let's start with I think like David Portnoy, was that how you say it?
David Portnoy?
Yeah, so he had that pizza score and he was just like 4.4, 7 point something. So let's start there. We'll just have to at the end of every episode we'll have to just give it a score.
Yeah, so let's look at this. Let's do it in 4s, or a grouping of 4. The financials. You want to do time investment? Okay. What were the other 2?
Convenience.
I have to come up with the 4th one. We don't have to be. It could be in those 3. We could just go.
I think
the time investment and then convenience of it, and then we could look into that scale just based off of with Robert. And kind of go from there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that would be more of what would be the measuring stick is where we need to start. So I'm trying to think of the standard.
Well, what if we use vinyl collecting as
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah,
because it's not too on either side of the the spectrum of super excitement like jumping off of buildings or airplanes, out of airplanes, that sort of thing. And it's not, no offense, coin collecting.
Yeah,
there's a lot to it. So yeah, let's do that. Let's start with Robert tonight. We can kind of just judge by financials.
I think it is. Yeah, and I think it is. It should have a high score. I guess you have to thrift to find some of it.
So speaking of that, some of my favorite thrift finds, vinyl wise, Tyler Childers.
Nice
vinyl. I get to see him. This is Country Squire. I get to see him this summer. It's gonna be very, very exciting. Do you have any of your own vinyl?
No, I think one of my grandparents had it. And I remember going through it in their basement.
Yeah.
I remember having a toy vinyl thing. Like it was like
Okay.
a plastic thing, and I think it actually played something. But I have a love for music and appreciation for the way it sounds. So I've heard it. I'm a huge fan, or used to be a huge fan of the Howard Stern show. I say used to be just because I haven't listened to it recently.
Yeah,
But
that's not been one I've ever listened to, really.
yeah, well, so there's a guy on the Gary Del Abate. He's a huge vinyl guy, and they kind of poke fun of him and his collection, but he talks about it in his book about why he likes it. It's really interesting. He swears there's like an audio difference too.
Yeah, I think so too, but I mean, also that comes with your speakers and your sound system as well.
Sure.
I have like a modern day little. It's probably like this tall for the listeners, probably about 3 or 4, 3 inches tall.
Yeah.
Not very big at all. It's very compact, good for like a modern apartment type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if like the speakers are all that great, but it's not bad. I mean, I like it. I wish there was a way to hook it up through my sound system, like my sound bar and stuff like that. But beggars can be choosers.
Yeah, my personal preference, I feel I have a love for oldies, and by oldies, my personal, I have to, I guess nowadays explain because I'm getting older. My oldies would have been in like the 50s.
Yeah.
Like maybe the Four Seasons, the Four Tops, maybe some Motown, like that. I feel like that is amazing on vinyl when I've heard it.
The golden oldies.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what it's called? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. So when you think of vinyl, what's the type of music you think
of? For me, man, I like turning mine on in the morning, like on a weekend. If Astonville is not playing or something like that, early in the morning, having my coffee, the dogs are outside, doing their thing. I like putting on some bluegrass or some country. Tyler Childers, there's some Zach Bryan, like Coulter Wall, just I think people call it sad boy country.
Right, you mentioned Zach Bryan, that's a new artist, right?
Yeah, newer to mainstream.
Yeah, so what I mean by that, so this is somebody that you can get vinyl from now, correct?
Yeah.
So in comparison to how much is a vinyl album cost? On like a regular price point?
It depends. I'm trying to pull up like
so there's a big like range then. So the reason because this is the last time I purchased, because if you remember cassettes and CDs, they were all, if it was a new artist, they were all the same price point typically.
Yeah. Well, I'll say generally, if I'm on Amazon or at Target, Walmart, I would say anywhere from 15, 20, 25 bucks. All right. So looking in here, Cody, you got this Bob Marley, 28 bucks. You get do Hooligans, Dark Side of the Moon, 50th anniversary, 30 bucks. Yeah, here's a newer one. I think that's old. I'm trying to find something that's not. Yeah, this 21 by Adele, 22 bucks. So I mean, I think that it does kind of depend on the era that it's from. I have this vinyl right here, Traveler.
I'm being completely serious because I've never purchased any sort of a vinyl album. Is there like an insert that would be almost like in place of like a cassette, where you'd read things about the artist?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, there's some of them come with that. Yeah. I have one to show.
Yeah, that's one of the things I miss is reading those and going to the lyrics and
I used to love that with just regular with like regular CDs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Learning about the life of Eminem and Eminem show. So like the vinyl art is sick, dude, right?
That's amazing, yeah.
And then inside is the vinyl sleeve. And then just the credits, actually lyrics. Yeah, the lyrics to all the songs and then the credits and stuff like that. One of his I feel like has a little bit more, but this is his good old Tyler Childers when he's smoking a joint right there.
Okay.
He doesn't do that stuff anymore. He's been delivered.
So that one of the things that made me want to ask Robert to do this is that I would see him post on social media, like he'd have a new record and in his basement or something, and seem super stoked about it and really interested. And when you see the kind of passion, it made me want to kind of understand this a little bit more. That
Yeah.
knowing that others obviously collect vinyl,
Yeah.
but I believe there's people out there that just collect it for the resale value and maybe never even listen to it. And then there's people that listen to it, and I'm curious to see if Robert's entire collection is one that he listens to, or if there's some that he never touches, that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know. I think there's probably a mixed bag. I think most folks are, either doing it because it's a trend now. But I think most people are doing it for the enjoyment of the music itself. I would hope. Music's been a big part of my life.
Yeah, same.
I hope to see some of his strangest, unique albums. I don't want to hear about the Metallicas. I don't want to hear about the AC/DCs or whoever, or even if he has Britney Spears' first album on, that would actually be kind of cool. But I want to hear like the most unique.
Yeah, that's a great one. I want to I like the unique, obviously. That's a great question. I also want to know what soundtracks he has.
Nice. Ooh, nice. So no, I'm just excited to see how he stores them. I'm excited just to see what makes that collection for him tick. So I think we could pause real quick and then get him on. All right, folks. As we touched on at the top of the hour, tonight we have a very special guest joining us. They're always special. Spoiler alert. Please give us a warm welcome to Robert Mills with his extensive collection of over 500. Yes, 500 vinyl records. We're excited to dive deep into the world of music with him. So, Robert, thanks for joining us tonight. What's up, Robert? We're back.
How's it going?
Glad to have you. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no. Thanks for having me.
I haven't seen you in like 3 years.
Has it been that long?
Dude, I feel like it. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, man, I think it's been. Has it been
that
long, Cody?
I'd say roughly around that.
It's nuts. Well, thank you for coming on. I hope you heard our awesome intro.
I did. I jumped in here about maybe 15 minutes beforehand just to make sure everything was good on my end. But it was kind of cool hearing kind of what you guys were talking about, and yeah, right up my alley.
Well, let's get this ball rolling.
All right.
I'll let you get the first question out the way.
We always start with kind of where it all started for you. So do you have a first memory of vinyl in your entire life that you can recall? When would that be?
Oh, wow. So, my dad's always had vinyl records. So, since I've been on this earth, I've been around them, but I was never personally into them until recently.
Really? Okay.
But my first memory, honestly, is probably in my grandparents' basement with my grandfather always making his homemade wine and then getting a little tipsy and throwing on a 45 of like Dean Martin.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Cigar?
He didn't smoke, but he was always making his wine that was pretty strong, I think.
I feel that's a great combo for a cigar.
Right. So he was always listening to his 45s in the basement, having a good time. And, I ended up buying my grandparents' house, and I'm doing the same damn thing. I'm down in the basement, listening to the records. So
nice.
Tradition carries on.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. What sparked your personal interest to get into, music or, collecting music as a hobby?
I was gifted a record player for my 40th birthday.
Nice.
Yeah. So I had one vinyl record, which is the first one I ever owned, which is hanging up in my office over here, which is a Smashing Pumpkins album. One of my best friends, my college roommate, Adam, gave me that record years ago. And it has sat in a closet, I couldn't tell you for how many years, because I just had no reason to ever appreciate it at that time,
Yeah.
Now, had I known now, or then what I know now, that would not have been in a closet. That is the original release of a door that is probably worth $200, and I'm a dumbass and I opened it.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, we talk about it seems like a lot of the hobbies we've had on here have some sort of a trading value or a selling value.
I'm not in it for that though. Yeah. I'm in it to listen. Nice. I go out there. It's a whole culture. We go to these conventions. We go to flea markets.
Did you go to the? I think it was the Pittsburgh vinyl or record show last week or 2 weeks ago. Cool.
Yeah, if you go on their page, I'm like, where's Waldo for them? I show up in every picture that they take. I swear to God, but I'm always in the background, just digging through crates of vinyls.
Nice.
It's a whole culture. We joke that everybody who collects something, especially vinyl records, is maybe slightly touched. Just because there's an OCD component to it. I mean, the cataloging, the time that you spend. I mean, Zach, you collect some vinyls, right?
Some, yeah. Not, I have maybe 30 at most. They don't fit in my vinyl box, but like you use spreadsheets of cards, breaking them down between graded, non-graded, autographed.
There's not an app for that. There's got to be an app.
There is an app. I like spreadsheets.
Okay. All right.
Nobody likes to talk to the spreadsheet guy.
No, there's a great app that helps me from buying the same records over and over again. I put my whole collection on there. It gives you a good idea of what the value is if you're into that. But yeah, it's just nice to know, because every vinyl record, it's just like a coin. They come from different plants that press them, which kind of is where they get their grade and their value, just like coins do. So they come out of essentially different mints. So it's pretty neat that app, gets it right down to where it was made, when it was made.
What percentage of your personal listening is on vinyl versus iTunes or any other sort of media?
So yeah, I'm a diehard Spotify guy. I'm on there all day, every day when I can't have a record player around. When I am home, it's always on vinyl, because I still have a lot of stuff I haven't listened to yet in my collection, and I don't buy it if I'm not going to listen to it. The whole goal is, I want to explore different music. I mean, I have everything from, I got some off the wall stuff. I buy sometimes just on the album art to see what it's all about.
Did you see the art in the Childers album I had a minute ago?
Which one do you have?
County Squire.
Oh, okay. I don't have that one.
Yeah, it's or Country Squire. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty damn.
Yeah. I mean, they do some really cool art, and even on the vinyls themselves, I avoid picture discs because the sound quality is a lot less, but it is cool to instead of an album cover, you just get the album art on the disc itself. Yeah. That does take away from the sound quality a little bit.
I was going to say, that's nuts.
Right.
So what is maybe your favorite, Saturday morning, you're waking up, what is your favorite go-to type of, music to, they're on the vinyl, maybe have a cup of coffee. I don't know if you have dogs or what have you, letting them out, that sort of thing.
Right. It's going to depend on the time of year, honestly.
Okay.
So if it's a rainy spring Saturday morning, probably going to hit some Patsy Cline or some old school country just to kick it off. As the day goes on, I usually end a Saturday night with some of that, some disco, maybe a little ABBA or,
All right.
Get the Saturday night vibes going.
Dancing Queen, yeah.
Oh yeah. I got some Rick James, I mean, it's just whatever you're in the mood for, I probably have it. My number is small. 500 is a small number. My friend right up the road who, gets me to all these conventions and everything, he's nearing 4,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
He has an entire room dedicated. I know. I was like, when you guys reached out to me, I'm like, I should probably just let you know about him.
So when you get to that level, though, wouldn't it get to a point where you don't really have time to listen to that many? And
he makes time. He literally has a catalog system that he knows what he has listened to, so he can keep going through his collection and listen to it all.
See, Zach, I feel like whenever I said this may be the standard of hobbies scoring,
Yeah.
Is the return what maybe enjoyment that you get from it? So the rate of return, right? Robert, do you understand what I'm getting at? So vinyl, if you were a collector of vinyl and you just go home and listen to that entire album, and they have another entire album, that's hours upon hours of enjoyment that you're getting back. Maybe I'm
from
not
the
sure.
$30 you spent. Yeah.
Yeah. So then with Zach, how many, if you build the model truck,
Yeah.
how many hours of enjoyment?
Yeah.
Are you getting?
It's going to be a bit.
He's like, listen, I stare at that thing for hours, but no,
I stared at it for hours before I realized I didn't even have the right tools to put it together in the first place.
Yeah. So I feel like, Robert, with this, it sounds like you look forward to going home and relaxing and listening to this.
As much as I can. I mean, when I work from home, I have a record player in my office. I have a record player in my basement, you know.
Nice.
I want to make sure that wherever I'm at in the house, I'm going to be able to hear it. So when I'm working from home, yeah, I'm spinning, you know, that's when I listen to the majority of my records, honestly, because outside of work, I stay pretty busy. So I don't always have the downtime to listen.
Yeah.
But the enjoyment for me, listening is part of it. It's more the hunt. It's going out to these flea markets and just talking to people that are into the same stuff that you are and just hearing their stories. And then when you pull like a record out of their box and they have a story about it, you know, it's like they're really good salesmen.
Yeah.
They make you buy their stuff that way.
That's why they're thrifters full time.
So Zach, note community score.
Note community score.
You know, so sounds like there's a good community of collectors that you could feed off of, conventions, a lot.
Oh yeah, like I've gone to church rummage sales and gotten into hour-long conversations with people twice my age that are into the same stuff that I am. You know,
that's awesome. Yeah,
right.
It's timeless.
It is. That's why I love vinyl, and you're not going to get a better quality way of listening to music. It's music in its purest form. If you have the right sound system and the right pressing, you can hear a drummer drop his drumstick. You know, you're not getting that. You're losing a lot of audio quality when they put it into digital format. So a lot of these new records coming out, unfortunately, have digital formatted music they're putting on vinyl pressing instead of the actual like studio recordings that they did back when they released these 45 singles and your full LP albums. So you have to watch what you're getting to if you're really into the sound quality of it. But I mean, to me,
I was halfway
it's
right
something
earlier.
I want to just buy it, you know?
Yeah. Have you been to the Exchange for vinyl?
Yes. Yeah, I've gone there. The Attic is my favorite.
Okay. Is that Pittsburgh local?
Yeah, so that's in Millville.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've been over there.
Yeah, the Attic's awesome because if you want,
I got the Eminem show from there.
Yeah, newer stuff, older stuff, they have it all. That's my favorite. There's a plug for them. Jerry's Records is really cool. That's more of, you're going to find some really good older country there, you know, some more of your 50s, 60s, 70s stuff. So yeah, each store has its own little niche too. I found some that cater more for just, I guess, blues and hip hop. So those are nice stores to go to as well. It's fun because it gets you out. It gets you exploring different towns too. Yeah, no, I mean, it's fun just to go to these different towns, see what they have to offer too. You know,
I like to always ask a question similar to this. So for you, it would be, if you had to grab 3 albums right now, you had to choose which ones you grabbing. You can only grab 3.
Dude,
your house, like something's happened, a tornado's coming, you're grabbing them. 3.
All right. I know one for sure. It's going to be Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, which I have right here for you. This
nice.
One. The album art in this one is worth buying this alone. Because if you remember when the CD came out, they had that booklet with all the lyrics and the art.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, they have that in here, but there's a whole separate book of just art for it. So it's really cool. So that's number 1. I'm probably going to grab Dark Side of the Moon.
Nice.
Saw that earlier.
Because I can listen to that over and over again and not get bored with it. 3, oh God. I'll probably grab a compilation record for my third one, so I have some different choices there. I'll play it smart. I'll grab one of my ones that has a little bit of the 50s rock and roll, but also some classic country on it.
You can just get Now That's Music. Remember those old CDs?
Yes. I love compilation records. I think they're fantastic. Some people in the record community think that, you're missing all the deep cuts by doing that. But personally, on a Saturday, I'll throw a compilation on to get my day started. And that'll kind of set the tone for what I want to listen to the rest of the day.
A little vinyl mix. That's nice.
Yeah.
So Cody asked earlier about, or he mentioned the audio of vinyl, and the people say that it's actually better. I mentioned that it could be dependent upon the the audio setup that you have, and you kind of back that up. What do you personally have as your setup, or what would you suggest for someone who has kind of like a modern day little Amazon $30 record player?
I mean, right now mine's terrible. I was using I have my dad's old stereo equipment, his old amplifiers, even his turntable. Nice. So I started out with that, and that was working really good, with some static, and the speakers are from the 70s. But right now, honestly, I'm just using your standard Bluetooth speakers where I'm listening to it. I have a portable one that I can carry from room to room. So
nice.
Literally, I can have a vinyl record playing in my office, and I can go to the kitchen and take that speaker with me and still hear it. But I am going to invest in some high quality sound system. I have a friend who kind of specializes in that a little bit, so I'll lean on him. But my other buddy, he just has a Bluetooth Bose speaker, the one that has 4,000 records, and that works for him. And that puts out a really good sound quality. But I'm going to go next level. I'm going to get some sort of, surround system at some point.
Nice. That's what I want to get mine to connect to my sound bar. I just don't know. I don't know enough about it, and I just haven't put the energy into it. But maybe one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as an auxiliary cord from the record player to the speaker.
Yeah. Are there any specific genres that you stick to primarily? I know you kind of mix, but I mean, is there one specific go-to?
Yeah, my go-to is what I grew up with. It's going to be the 90s alternative. That's the majority of the records that whatever I had in my CD collection as a teenager is a lot of the vinyls that I'm buying today. But when you go to these record stores and you go in these, dollar bin rooms, $2 bin rooms, that's where you find some really cool old stuff.
Nice.
I mean, I find like Harry Belafonte, a lot of these, like, even like Herb Alpert in the Tijuana Brass. He's a trumpet player, but for whatever reason, it's kind of become this running joke in my little circle of friends. That's the first record each one of us like gifts to the other one. We all have some Herb Alpert whipped cream vinyl album. But genre is going to be mostly alternative, but I don't listen to old country. I don't really like country that much.
Okay.
But on vinyl, there's nothing better. Slaps. Yeah, nothing better than old country. I'm telling you, like Merle Haggard, anything. When I say old country, I'm talking anything like mid 90s and previous. I'll go mid 90s and previous because after
ending with like Travis Tritt and Joe Diffie's Rise.
Yeah, like George Strait. Come on. Nice. I mean, it sounds great on vinyl. But Nat King Cole, if you're going to have a record player, you need to have Nat King Cole or, Patsy Cline or something like that, because those are the artists that are meant to be listened on vinyl. I mean, there's no comparison.
You mentioned you like the hunt, or do you ever say, hey, if you see this, let me know, or is that not something you do?
With that community we got feelers out there all over the place.
So you guys are looking out for each other.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Mostly through like Facebook. We'll communicate with each other and be like, hey, just so you know, this went on sale if anybody needs a copy of it, or hey, this just got released if anyone's looking for it. So yeah.
I don't know if you watch like SNL from Will Ferrell's days, but I have a Robert Goulet
Nice
album.
I haven't bought a Robert Goulet yet.
And then there's this one. I think it's Are You Standing at the Fork in the Road? Failure or success? Decide now. You can't.
A self-help record.
Yeah, I have this, and I don't know why.
Hey, I have stuff I don't know why I have it either. Yeah.
I feel like, and again, respect to all religious beliefs, but I feel like if you are into Christmas music, I'd imagine it's probably pretty decent on vinyl.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. So this year for Christmas, my friend that has 4,000 records, he did an advent calendar for myself, another buddy, and another guy that he works with. And what he did, he individually wrapped 25 different records for each of us, put them in a box, and we opened one record each day, and that's what we listened to.
That's cool.
Some of them were Christmas albums, but a lot of them were tailored to our own like personal taste. So that's just
sweet idea.
Yeah, it was awesome that he did that. I thought that was really cool. But Christmas records, definitely. I have a whole collection of those.
Soundtracks? How about any movie soundtracks?
Yeah, I have one. I love movie soundtracks. Here's a good one. Lost Highway.
Oh, nice.
This is a great soundtrack. I mean, you got David Bowie, 9 Inch Nails.
I was going to say, that's a good list of artists on there.
No, there's all kind of Lou Reed. I mean, there's all kind of shit on here that's good.
Nice.
I have Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Albert Broccoli presents Dick Van Dyke. So anyway, I had to show that one.
No, I'm a nerd, so as far as classical music, I'm into Hans Zimmer, who does a lot of the Batman, Superman soundtracks.
The Interstellar soundtrack.
That's right. You're a DC fan, right?
Yeah, I like Marvel too, but I was always more of a DC kid for sure growing up. But yeah, anything Batman, Superman related, the original Superman movies. I wish I had the record up here to show you, but for the second movie, the original motion soundtrack for that one, they laser etched the Superman emblem into the vinyl itself. So when it's spinning, depending how your light's hitting it, just keeps popping up that emblem. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
I have a video of that.
That is amazing. Yeah,
I'd like to send us that.
Yeah, would you mind us sharing it? Sharing that?
I'll send that to you. But I have the Back to the Future soundtrack, Dirty Dancing, Footloose.
Oh, Footloose is a great one.
Yeah, Footloose is fantastic. I need to get Caddyshack. I'm still looking for that.
It's in the hole.
Little Kenny Loggins on there.
Yeah, I need Beetlejuice as well. I got to get that one still.
You mentioned that wrote the Batman soundtrack. Was that? Do you have the one with Prince that he did the entire thing?
So there's 2 albums you can get for Batman 1989. They have the original motion picture soundtrack that Danny Elfman composed, and then they have the Prince one. So you can get both of those. Yeah, I don't have the Prince one or the original motion picture soundtrack one for that, but I'll have both very soon, I'm sure.
Oh wait, so you talked about Marvel and stuff like that, and earlier you said you are kind of a nerd. Yeah, so that was where I was going. So do you have any other types of hobbies outside of collecting vinyl that take over your time?
Yeah, I used to collect DC action figures. I mean,
all right.
I had stuff from when I was a kid, the original superpowers stuff from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So that started there.
Nice.
And then once I became an adult with a real paycheck, some of that money started going towards that. So I built that collection up pretty good. And I'm actually working on selling that collection to make more room for vinyl records. So the records kind of took over. I have to say we're very fortunate for where we live. Pittsburgh has a lot to offer for hobbyists. I would talk to people at these record conventions. Like I said, they come from other states for this thing because not only for the convention, but the stores that are around the Pittsburgh area, they don't have that in a lot of states, a lot of towns, you know.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's, you know, you go to just about any little town in Pittsburgh, you're going to find some sort of record store or someplace that sells them. There's a lot of, you know, action figure stores, comic book stores. I mean, we're pretty lucky. RC cars. I'm into RC cars too. Micro crawlers, you know. So like, they're fun because you can build them, you know, however you want and put different shocks and stuff on them. They're just like actual little cars working on them. But yeah, there's all kinds of stores like that too. So I think we're pretty fortunate where we live.
You said that you mentioned an app earlier. And that's how you said you keep everything organized. Do you keep track of like any that you might sell or anything? I know you said you do it for just listening. Do you do any of it for flipping potentially?
So me and my friend just this past summer bought somebody's entire record collection for a very small price.
All right.
I mean, there's got to be, I think, 1,500, 2,000 records in this collection, and it was a DJ's collection. I mean, we're pulling stuff out of there. We found 145 worth $200. That's just one record, you know, out of the 1,500 that are down there. So we're in the process of cleaning all of those because there's different machines you can use to clean them. We have an ultrasonic one, but there's also a spin clean where you just manually spin it and clean it. And that probably gives you the best results. But yeah, we're cleaning all those, getting them categorized. And then on the app, I'm adding those into a separate folder so I can keep track of those separate from my personal collection. So that app, I mean, you can make folders I have a folder just for my Pumpkins records, Nine Inch Nails records, just so, you know, I can see them at any given time.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have some displayed like in a specific, like a certain area at certain times, or do you just keep them all stored?
So I have shelves in my basement that they're all stored in. Whatever I'm listening to at the time, that gets propped up or like right by the record player. And that's pretty much what anybody does that listens to vinyl records. You can get one of those little stands that says now playing. And that's just to show off for anyone else that, you know, is there. Yeah. If they want to see what you're listening to, it's right there for them.
Nice.
But yeah, I frame some, I hang them up, but it's mostly just in the shelves or in boxes for any overflow.
Well, I remembered my real question from earlier, Cody. It's a good one, I promise.
Good for you.
I'll forget it if I don't get to it. No, I'm just kidding. Metallica. I was making a joke earlier with Cody saying that I didn't want to hear about, you know, any basic ass, you know, vinyls like Metallica, AC/DC. But I do have a question. What is your least favorite Metallica album?
I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but
yes,
like some of their older stuff, you know.
Saint Anger.
Yeah. Well, Saint Anger, that album does suck. There's just not really a good song on there. It's funny you mentioned that. When I tried listening to it the other day, like, I honestly don't even own a Metallica album.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, I had their CDs back in the day. I have nothing against Metallica. And I'm going to catch real bad flack for this. I am probably going to buy 2 Metallica albums, and they're going to be Load and Reload.
It's not the Black Album, at least.
Well, you know, actually, I think I might have the Black Album, but I think it's not under my possession. I think it's my son's record. So I'm safe.
So I was a huge fan of Garage Inc., by the way.
You know what? That's actually a good one.
Yeah. All right. Whiskey in a Jar is one of my all-time favorite songs. Their cover
maybe I'll get 3.
Wasn't Turn the Page on there too?
Yeah.
There's a couple good ones on there.
That is a good one. Good call.
So this is something we said that it was timeless earlier. I like that your son is starting to do this now.
Yeah, he was. He kind of got into it right, you know, when Dad was all excited at the peak, and he wanted to get a few of his own. Like, he likes Tyler Childers and, what's his band that he was into? Five Finger Death Punch. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And
I
then,
know that.
yeah, I listened to him. I'm like, all right, that's not like.
So I used to, they have some good lifting music for sure.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's on my lifting playlist for sure.
He's into motocross, so I'm sure anything high energy, high octane, that's where he's gonna go.
Sounds like he has a couple Limp Bizkit vinyls somewhere hidden.
Not yet. Not yet. No, he kind of stopped buying them. Once I took him to one record convention and we were there like 4 hours, he's like, no, I'm not doing this again.
I don't blame him sometimes.
Right. Even for me, it's a bit much. I'm always pulling my buddy out of those places.
Do you have an album, listening aside, the best album art?
Oh yeah.
If you could just
just the cover, or
like not the listening of it at all, like the cover, the way it looks.
So yeah, let me pull this one up. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Where is it?
If not,
there was this one that I bought this one time just because of the album art.
Okay.
And it turned out to be this crazy, like, psychedelic record that was actually really cool. I'll have to send you a picture of it. I don't want to waste time looking for it right now.
That sounds like it'd be a fun weekend.
As far as what I was talking about earlier, I can show you this one. So this is the Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. So just the way it's packaged, I mean, it's got this hard shell box that you can put. I shouldn't do that, but
my diploma didn't come in something that nice.
Yeah. But then you got the original lyrical book.
Nice.
See that.
Yeah, so you don't get that stuff anymore.
No. So just like it was in the CD.
Yeah, for our listeners, you'll have to head to our YouTube to watch this.
Yes. And then they give you the album art.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And a whole story on the band.
That is awesome.
So basically, Robert's like displaying for those of you listening, it's like I'd say a magazine size almost. A little bit bigger,
album size.
A little bit wider. Yeah. You said the size of a record.
Yeah.
Of a vinyl record.
And you got things that you just never really seen released before too. But the whole story on the creation of the album. So a lot of your special edition records like this one, they'll do that. Where they'll put in some little extra thing that ups the price for it and makes it a collector's edition or something. But yeah, there's a lot of times I'll just go in and look at the cover, and if it looks cool and I have no idea what it is, I'll take a chance on it. And that's usually worked out pretty well. There was only one time that bit me in the ass. And there's one record that I have to just get rid of. It's just some guy talking in nonsensical, for hours. I think he might have been tripping on LSD when I recorded that one.
Going on extra drive.
Do you have like a guilty pleasure record, like a Creed, Nickelback, or honestly, you know what? As I say that, I'm not gonna act like there's not some Creed or Nickelback songs.
Listen,
so I don't understand the joke.
I hate
all the time. So I'm gonna take.
It's
that back.
so funny that you said Creed. I bought Creed's first album on vinyl.
Okay.
And I still do not hear the end of it to this day from my friends.
They're going to come back, man.
They create memes about me in this Creed record.
So
the one that was going around this Christmas with the little boy opening the present and he's crying and his family's pointing and laughing. They did that with me, and it was the Creed record.
So wait, so the funny part is I legitimately was a fan of their first album. I believe it was called
Me Too, My Own Prison.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal album.
Right.
The next album is when, outside of What If and then some other, like a couple really good songs, it started to get a more Scott Stapp driven, where he was
commercialized.
Yeah, which is fine. It's not terrible music. Obviously, they sold tons of records.
Right.
But anyways, I don't get the hate, but it is kind of funny that everybody.
Yeah, they just made fun of me for that one. They're like, "You're gonna buy Creed on vinyl, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I liked it in '97. I like it now."
Yeah. Where's that?
No shame. Yeah. But yeah, I have that. How they're not guilty pleasures, but I have some things that I never thought I would listen to. Like,
that's okay.
Barbara Streisand.
Nice.
A Star Is Born, that soundtrack is actually really good. I didn't think I would like it, but not the new one, the original with Streisand in it. You know.
I gotcha.
All right.
I have a quick question idea before I show this. If you had to pick a single Marvel movie to get the soundtrack on vinyl,
that's easy.
Not Guardians. Can't count Guardians. Can't count that. I want all three of them. What would you pick?
Well, it depends then. It depends if I'm going to go for the original motion picture soundtrack with like the actual classical score, or if I'm going to go with, the commercial music that they put on these things. If I'm going to go
as I ask the question, because I didn't know the difference.
Yeah. If I'm going to go with the original motion picture soundtrack score, the classical music version, probably one of the Spider-Man movies. They seem to have pretty good ones.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Endgame. I don't know.
Yeah, Endgame would be a good one.
Man, that's just mainly for the score, I guess, because they don't really have a lot of the music or songs as much.
I remember hearing some good music in that animated Spider-Man movie. The one with
Spider-Verse.
Yeah. There was some good. I'd probably snatch that up. That would be the one. See what's on there.
Nice.
I'm not that familiar with their soundtracks to give you a straight answer on that, other than Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's fair. Well, Cody said that you were very familiar with these two movies just right before you came on. You probably missed it. Would you rather have the Frozen or Moana soundtracks on vinyl? He said you were a huge fan, so I thought.
Yeah. I already have both, so
nice.
No, I guess
Moana, by the way.
So if I had to pick, I'd probably pick the one I know least about. That would be less annoying, and that would be the Moana.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I thought you were going to ask him the movie question that we ask everybody.
Oh, that's going to be last. Actually, I'll go ahead and ask now, and if you answer poorly, I'll have to end it now. So it'll be an easier job to edit.
I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to guess as if he would know this, but go ahead.
I'm going to say 100% he does. So we asked this question to every single guest, guest. Have you seen the movie Brink on Disney?
He didn't. Yes.
Is that roller? That's the rollerblading.
Yeah, no, he did see it. All right. Okay. All right.
So wait.
No.
I don't know if I actually saw it or not.
Yeah, but that's enough because the fact.
I did. That's the kid that's like all against like. He doesn't want to. He's rollerblading, but it gets like commercialized or something.
Yeah, Soul Skaters. Yes, there it is.
They don't like gingers that are on rollerblades. No ginger rollerbladers.
There's a villainous guy with long hair.
We go back to this every episode. I love it.
Yeah. All right. So that was a close one, but all right.
I want to get the soundtrack on vinyl to the Goofy movie.
Oh, I keep posting about that. I love that song.
Yeah.
What song's in the Goofy movie?
I think it was made for. It's called Eye to Eye.
It's Tevin Campbell.
You know what? Instead of buying the whole vinyl, just look for it on a 45. If you just want that one song, look for the single.
You mentioned that earlier. I don't know what a 45 is.
45s are the smaller ones with the bigger hole in the middle. Okay, they play at a different speed, so it'll play at 45 like RPMs instead of 33 RPMs, like your traditional standard like 7-inch vinyl. For a 45, the whole purpose for a 45 was. That's how kids got a feel for the music back in the day. So they would go out and buy this 45 of an artist or whatever they thought might be interesting to them to see if they wanted to buy the whole record. So that's why 45s really existed. It was to get artists out there. Yeah.
I like that.
That's nice.
So they're highly collectible now.
Well, I wanted to show my most unique piece, though. Vinyl. I don't know if it's considered a piece, but it's Lou Monte sings Songs for Pizza Lovers.
Right. That's great.
Is that not the most awesome vinyl?
That's actually a cool one. We get into, I don't want to say certain things on here, but
fire away.
If there's a cigarette on the album cover, we have to buy it. Okay. If there's a guy smoking, you got to buy that record. My buddy has that rule.
I like that.
Yeah, so we just have fun with it. But then we all picked a celebrity that we wanted to buy their music. I picked Hasselhoff.
Oh, I was going to ask. That's the first person I went to.
Yeah.
I
I haven't found any of his records yet, but I'm still looking.
Is it in German or is he just big in Germany?
Oh no, he's just huge in Germany. You gotta see his music video for
I've seen one, I think.
Survivor or like Total Survivor or something like that.
I've seen it. That's a gem.
It is ridiculously awesome.
It's like almost as good as the Hulk Hogan guitar music video.
Yeah.
I Am the Real American. If that's on vinyl, if that's on a 45, I may buy it.
There you go. We hooked Cody. He's gonna get into vinyl records now.
There we go.
45s.
It's not one that's too strenuous either.
Yeah, maybe may need your help, Zach or Robert. We'll figure that one out.
Oh, yeah,
all you have to do is go into one record store, and if the smell of a musty, wet basement doesn't scare you off, because that's what all these records smell like, unless they're brand new, then you're probably going to be good.
Yeah, that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang album 100% smelled like the grandma that probably sold it to the thrift store I bought it from.
Yeah.
Oh, I found boxes of records under abandoned trailers that I've cleaned up, and yeah. If we get a lead on vinyl records, we're gonna find them and we're gonna be there to get them.
You guys are like American pickers.
They're following crime scenes.
CSI, American pickers.
Oh, I yell at people that have told me that they've thrown them out before after cleaning out a house. I'm like, how dare you? Why would you ever do that? At least take them to a store and see if they want them or something.
Yeah.
Hell, they'll give you money for them at this point.
Man, I don't want to sell mine. I want to keep growing my collection. What is the biggest collection? Is the 4,000 vinyl guy? Is that the biggest collection that you know of?
That I know personally, yes.
Okay.
But these people that I talk to, I mean, they have hundreds of thousands. They've owned stores at one time in their life.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then it just really never stops. I honestly think that most collectors end up owning a store at some point because they just have to, because they run out of room.
Yeah, I want to open up a card store for a bit now.
Yeah,
I'll just keep selling on eBay.
Imagine owning like a vinyl store on the beach.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Just, hey, check out my collection. You want to buy something?
Right.
Reggae.
What a way of life that would be.
Man, that would be great.
A young Elizabeth Shue comes around the corner.
As you're playing Cruel Summer.
I don't understand the reference, but
that's a Karate Kid cocktail reference.
Yeah, I never liked the Karate Kid movies.
What?
The first one's amazing.
The first one's amazing. Then they re-upped Cobra Kai and did a phenomenal job.
Oh my God, Cobra Kai!
I did hear Cobra Kai was good.
I mean, I don't know. Like I didn't know because I literally got it on the YouTube Red because I was like, oh, I don't care what it is. It's Karate Kid. Then I started watching it. I'm like, this is a legit good show.
You just gave me an idea. I'm gonna jump on Google and see if Cobra Kai has a soundtrack on vinyl. Because there's some kick-ass music.
So I will tell you, I don't know if it's on vinyl, but on YouTube Music, I've listened to the score of like all the entire. It is phenomenal. The two guys that originally did it, I think they kept it for the entire series.
Yeah,
and it's like Hawk's theme song. I don't know what it's actually called. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's on there.
Yeah, it's all on there.
All right, yeah.
All those transitions, all those songs, all those. Oh man, it's insane.
Right on. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. See if they have that out there. There's probably, I bet they have different ones for each season.
Yeah, and based on those guys being insane musicians, I'd imagine they'd probably want that on vinyl. But
you can get it on Amazon. You can get the Cobra Kai exclusive limited edition soundtrack.
What's the name of the
artist? Oh, the box set.
Yeah, the vinyl for $60. You can get the audio CD for $500.
What's the guy say? What are the names of the people that did it? That composed it?
Oh, you're talking to me. It says DJ. Oh, that's the person who's selling it.
Oh.
Anyways, I don't know.
There's a couple guys that did that, or gals, girl. I have no idea. But anyways, a couple people. and it was whoever it was is insane. Great.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna check that out. I actually see it. They have there's a 3 LP edition that has different colors on it. That's the other thing about vinyls. They're doing all kind of things. You can, I mean, they've always done that, but you can get different colored editions. You know, they have Coke bottle clear, which is a really cool looking vinyl. They put different color swirls in them and stuff. It's pretty neat.
My Eric Church Carolina album is clear.
Yeah.
Really neat.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different, you know. Sometimes, like, I think Taylor Swift did it with her one record. She put out like 5 different colored variations of it. Like, okay, but you know, people buy it. And some people buy all 5.
Well, there was a time where I was really, really, really into Joe Diffie. I'll show you guys what this looks like.
We're big fans, Robert, of adult show and tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like adult show and tell.
Yeah, it's a fun time. I guess
I almost bought this.
Oh, that's really cool. A green vinyl, yeah.
Yeah, but I did not. But there's 242 still in stock, so I might have a chance.
What's Joe Diffie all about?
John Deere Green.
Yeah, well, what's he all about? What's his musical style? Is he like?
Oh, I'm sorry, the song. He's country.
Okay, I figured by the mullet.
Yeah. You see, this song, this album. Let me see, Honky Tonk Attitude, Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox If I Die.
Okay,
that song.
Stealing from Billy Ray Cyrus.
John Deere Green.
Oh wait, no, that's not Billy Ray.
Third Rock from the Sun, Pickup Man. Every Woman. Pickup Man. I can't remember right now. But yeah, it's a pretty good song. Pretty good album.
That's a cover album. That's cool.
Well, maybe it is. No, these are 11 of Joe's biggest hits and a brand new song, Pride and Joy.
Oh.
Mark Broussard.
I'll have to check Joe Diffie out. He might be right up my alley. John Deere Green. I like it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Robert, man.
No, guys, this was fun.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We I always say this, but now that you come on, you are now officially a recurring guest, and my dog is barking. So anytime that we ask you to come on, you have to come on. It's contractually in your contract now. So
I didn't know I signed that. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
always read the fine print.
Yeah, it was somewhere in the disclosure for joining the
our music expert.
Yeah,
there's worse things in life. This is okay. I can deal with that.
Nice. We'd have music segments. Actually, I mean, I say this, I always try to come up with some semblance of like a video, aspect to our, our interviews. And I think that would be very cool to, maybe send Cody out on a adventure to the Exchange or over to Millville or any of these places you mentioned. I think it would be awesome to kind of just introduce them to the old people smell that comes from those places.
Yeah, I could definitely do that because I was thinking, if not the album I was trying to find earlier, maybe a Disney record.
The craziest thing.
If you like movie soundtracks and stuff from Disney, I recommend going to Jerry's. They have an entire section that's just dedicated to that.
Or Cracker Barrel.
Or Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, we've got our getter. We did a little trip to Hobby Lobby together. We'll have to. We're gonna be doing like an axe throwing type thing potentially.
Yeah.
And
we gotta get them lined up.
Yeah, so the vinyl store is definitely something I think we can do for sure.
You guys do that, let me know. I'll go with you and point out the good ones for you.
Let's do it.
All right, boys.
Yes, Engelbert Humperdinck is gonna be strictly what Cody collects, so it's gonna be great.
I have some Humperdinck. I mean, how can you not buy an Engelbert Humperdinck record when you come across it?
Well, anyway, man, I do appreciate you coming on.
No, it was fun. Thanks for
hopping on. It was nice having you.
Yeah, it's good seeing you guys again.
You too, man. Have a good night.
All right. Take care.
You too, man. Well, actually, before I even get into the outro, how would you kind of give this a rating?
So I'm going to add community into that, by the way.
What I did was I did convenience, time commitment, financial, and community. And I was doing, each one had a total of 5 stars that it could have. Convenience, I gave it a 2 out of 5, strictly because of what we were mentioning earlier, the issues with you just have to be solitary more or less, or kind of stuck to one house. If you're in the house all day, that's fine. Time commitment it's what you make it 100% with this hobby, I would say. I gave it a 4 because it doesn't really need a lot of preparation or anything like that. the most strenuous is going to the hobby, shop and, searching for that. Now, the financial aspect, again, I put 3 out of 5. I feel like that's an average. I mean, there are expensive ones, absolutely, but that's with anything that you're doing. So I think a 3 out of 5 on the financial would be good. And then community, you don't have vinyl records without community. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, so I don't have mine broken down in the interest of time. Maybe I'll do that next time. But
yeah.
So in my head, I was going to it like out of a 10 ranking, which I had mentioned briefly.
I could extrapolate it.
No, in a prior conversation. So
yeah,
based on me trying to make it that, I like this system better. So I would say the way I would be ranking this would be a 3.8.
3.8. I think that's kind of where mine is, because I got 6 plus 7, 13 divided by 4. That is just a little over 3.5, almost 3.5. I think maybe just a little under 3.5. So about 3.25 roughly, I would say.
Yeah. So if you were gonna rate it 4 out of 5 stars, that's essentially what an 80% score. Yeah. So that's the way I see this. This is somewhere in like the low 70s.
Yeah.
In terms of that, but no, I like that. I like how you broke that down and maybe have 5 separate categories totaling the 5 stars. Yeah, I like that.
So, hey folks, thanks for tuning in to tonight's episode of Discovering Unique Hobbies, the podcast. We hope you enjoyed exploring the world of music with Robert and his impressive vinyl collection. Don't forget to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Right now, we're just strictly on YouTube and Spotify. And then, make sure to, hit us up on social media at @dubpod_ on Instagram and dubpod on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok and Facebook as well. So keep discovering those unique hobbies, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys. We're good. There it is.
See, we got. That's a perfect video. That's a perfect video, though, right there.
Now.